It's time for another story. I'm the Walrus, and you can be the Walrus too. I'm Panos, I'm an innovation and change specialist, and I like telling stories with animals. Here is one. Once upon a time, in the far sides of the world, there was a village of penguins. They were living a hard life, but it was a decent life. That was their life. Every day they were going to catch fishes, spending time together and doing penguin things. One day, a majestic walrus came out of the fog on the ice environment of the penguin village. A big, majestic walrus, as big as the world, as majestic as you can think of. And he was just standing there on an ice raft, observing the penguins going through the hard everyday lives. And he will be eating all these delicacies out of his buckets and buckets of fishes and clams. Slowly, one by one, the penguins, they start to get curious. Who is that walrus? Why does he have so many fishes and clams? And every time that somebody will ask him, he will say, I'm the walrus and you can be the walrus too. Slowly, more penguins became curious and they started gathering around that big walrus that seemed to have an endless supply of fishes and clams to satisfy his hunger that seemed to be bottomless. Every day, more and more penguins gathered around and the question started to come up. How can I be a walrus too? And the walrus started sharing his secret. He said that I came from this distant land, and the people there, they don't want you to know that you can have a better life. They're tricking you. And if you come with me, you will become a walrus too. Because I'm a walrus, and I can teach you how to become a walrus too. And all this endless supply of fishes and clams that I have, it comes from this other place. And how do we do that? You have to build an ice raft like the one that I built. And then we will embark into a journey together. You will carry me with you, and I will show you the way. And so it started. One by one again, the penguins started gathering up and creating this ice raft, similar to the one that Walrus was on, like a small iceberg, imagine, made of ice. Slowly, they started investing their time in building the rafts instead of going for hunting, instead of going to their everyday lives. And the rafts were getting built and getting bigger, and more penguins joined the group. Eventually the day came, and they embarked into that long journey to the other side to find the other people, the ones that they don't want you to know the secret that the walrus knew, and he will share with you while you were going to that journey. Time passed, and of course it was not easy. At the beginning there was excitement, and of course, as everything, excitement declines as more the hardships rise. So the walrus kept on saying, yes, but this is the sacrifice we have to do to reach to the other side, to the endless clams, to the endless fish. This is what they don't want you to know. One day though, two seagulls appeared. And they started observing the penguins pulling the walrus. And the walrus was like, keep on eating and getting fatter and fatter actually. And the penguins were pulling him. The seagulls became curious. seagulls, and they started asking, like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Yeah, we're going to the other side. We're going to become a walrus. Yeah. You know, they don't want us to know. You can join us if you want. And the seagulls were skeptical. They kept on asking them, like, what do you mean the other side? Where is this other side? We don't know of another side, and we have traveled the world. Where you go, your rafts will melt and you will drown. And at the end of the day, you were carrying this fat walrus with you. When the walrus became aware of that, immediately he stepped in and he started saying, you see them flying? They're from the other side. They don't want you to go there. They don't want you to learn how to fly. I can teach you how to fly. Keep on pulling the rafts and keep on pulling it. Little did they know, the penguins, though, every step that they were taking further away from their home village, the rafts, they were melting, they were cracking. The walrus was becoming fatter and fatter to the point that it was covering his whole raft. And the seagulls, they kept on making fun of the penguins through the journey after that point. Some penguins left, some penguins gave up. But a lot of them, they stayed. And the rafts, they keep on going and melting and melting. And the penguins, they were becoming more and more tired. Until the day that a big crash. And all of a sudden the walrus is inside the water, drowning, unable to swim anymore because he got so fat, because he was just sitting there eating clams and fish the whole time while the penguins were doing the whole work. So here is the question. When it's too late to pull out of an investment? When do we know when something is a misinformation or a truth? How do we know that something is an opportunity or not? And what happens when we realize that there is crack in the eyes of what we're following? These are things that we're facing constantly. And these are things that they're holding us back from innovation because they create a fear. There is so much misinformation, there is so many scammers, so many people that they embrace the hustle mentality, or they try to win a bag every now and then with all these methods of words, let's say. The reality is harsh and different. We don't know. You have to take a leap of faith sometime. There is no data that you can show you every time what is happening. There is not enough information to understand and be aware constantly of how the world will function. So what we have to do at the end is make sure that when we follow walrus, we make sure that the eyes is not hollow, and where we go is a destination we can actually reach.